Kelly Ripa is speaking candidly about how long she plans to remain on live with Kelly and Mark. In an interview with Decider, Ripa opened up about the hosting role she has held for 25 years, as well as her future on the show. She reflected on the series' longevity and hinted at how much longer viewers can expect to see her behind the desk. "I always say this job and this place is so special that I really do believe in this show as a franchise. It's a franchise show," she began. "Before me, there was Regis Philbin and Kathy Lee Gifford. And before Kathy Lee, there was Regis and a myriad of other hosts." Ripa continued, "I believe this show will continue on for as long as linear television exists. I believe that there are too many talented people out there that really deserve the opportunity to find their own audience and grow the audience the way they see fit. Because I don't intend to work for the rest of my life. I really do not. I think we'll all make that decision when the time comes. I think there's a way to sort of get new people on board and have them test co-hosts and get the audience used to other people. I think it's important. I love this show too much to see it sort of ever end with us," Ripa concluded. Ripa first auditioned for the role in 2001 after then-host Philbin invited her to test as a potential replacement for Gifford. During her episode, Los Angeles-based psychic Char Margolis made a statement that likely cemented Ripa's future with the series, as reported by the Toronto Sun. During the segment, Margolis shared messages about Ripa's late grandmother and spoke about the matriarch's continued presence over the family. The emotional moment deepened when Margolis added that the grandmother would also be watching over Ripa's soon-to-arrive baby. It's not far away," the psychic said. "You're not pregnant yet, are you?" "Excuse me," Philbin asked. "Are you expecting?" Ripa started to laugh nervously before admitting, "I haven't told my boss yet about her second pregnancy with daughter Lola Consuelos. At the time, she was working on the daytime soap opera All My Children and was already a mother to Michael with husband Mark Consuelos, and the couple would later welcome a son, Joaquin. However long Kelly Ripa remains at the helm of Live, she says she's committed to delivering the upbeat, feel-good programming viewers have embraced since the show first premiered in 1983. The 2025 Daytime Emmy winner told Decider, "Our job when we come on the air, we are fully cognizant that the viewers at home have had 5 hours of news programming. So we try to bring them a lighter, less anxiety-inducing side of what the headlines have to offer." In a recent interview with Decider, Ripa reflected on her extraordinary run and admitted something both honest and inevitable. "I don't intend to work for the rest of my life," she said. The words weren't dramatic. They weren't laced with scandal. But they carried weight. Because for an entire generation of viewers, Kelly Ripa hasn't just hosted a talk show. She has been part of the rhythm of their lives. A franchise bigger than one host. Ripa is the first to point out that the show isn't hers alone. "I really do believe in this show as a franchise," she explained. "Before me, there was Regis and Kathy Lee. And before Kathy Lee, there was Regis and a myriad of other hosts." She was referring to the legendary pairing of Regis Philbin and Kathy Lee Gifford, whose chemistry turned the show into a morning institution long before Ripa arrived. When Ripa joined in 2001, few could have predicted she would not only carry the torch, but redefine it. At the time, she was known primarily for her role on All My Children, where she had built a loyal following. But daytime talk is a different beast. It demands spontaneity, vulnerability, and a rare ability to connect with an audience that is simultaneously drinking coffee, packing lunches, and half listening while navigating the start of their day. Ripa didn't just adapt. She thrived. The audition that changed everything. Her audition has since become daytime television lore. In 2001, Philbin invited Ripa to guest co-host as a potential replacement for Gifford. It was supposed to be another test run, one of many. Then something extraordinary happened. During the episode, Los Angeles-based psychic Char Margolis delivered messages she claimed were from Ripa's late grandmother. The segment turned unexpectedly emotional. Margolis spoke about the matriarch watching over the family, and then hinted at something even more personal. "You're not pregnant yet, are you?" she asked. Philbin, visibly startled, turned to Ripa. "Are you expecting?" Ripa laughed nervously. The audience leaned in. Millions watched. "I haven't told my boss yet," she admitted. It was a moment of live television magic, unscripted, vulnerable, unforgettable. She was expecting her second child, Lola Consuelos, with husband Mark Consuelos. At home, she was already mother to Michael. Later, she and Consuelos would welcome Joaquin, completing the family that viewers would come to know almost as well as their own. That candid, slightly chaotic exchange may have sealed her fate. Audiences saw authenticity. And daytime television lives or dies by authenticity. 25 years of change. Since that audition, the show has evolved, and so has Ripa. She transitioned from co-hosting with Philbin to leading the show alongside Michael Strahan, and eventually sharing the desk with her real-life husband when the series became Live with Kelly and Mark in its current form. The dynamic shifted again, this time blending marital banter with morning headlines. Through it all, the media landscape transformed dramatically. Cable news expanded. Streaming platforms exploded. Social media fractured attention spans. Linear television, once untouchable, faced existential questions. And yet live endured. Ripa believes that's no accident. "I believe this show will continue on for as long as linear television exists," she said confidently. "It's not just optimism. It's an understanding of format. Live is built on adaptability. New hosts rotate in. Chemistry is tested. Audiences are gradually introduced to fresh dynamics." Ripa even suggested that when the time comes for her departure, the transition should be thoughtful, not abrupt. "There's a way to sort of get new people on board and have them test co-hosts and get the audience used to other people," she explained. "I love this show too much to see it ever end with us." That statement alone reveals something crucial. She doesn't see herself as the end of an era, but as one chapter in a much longer story. The weight of morning television. Hosting a daily live show isn't glamorous in the way red carpets are glamorous. It requires relentless discipline. Wake-up calls before dawn. Make-up chairs before sunrise. 5 days a week. Year after year. And then there's the emotional calibration. "Our job when we come on the air," she told Decider, "we are fully cognizant that the viewers at home have had 5 hours of news programming." In other words, by the time live begins, audiences are already saturated with headlines. So we try to bring them a lighter, less anxiety-inducing side of what the headlines have to offer. That balance, acknowledging the world without amplifying its stress, has become the show's quiet mission. In a culture increasingly driven by outrage cycles and doom scrolling, Live offers something different: warmth. Levity. A reminder that joy still has a place in daily conversation. A career beyond the desk. Ripa's success on Live often overshadows the fact that she built her career long before 2001. Her breakout on All My Children introduced her to millions. That's also where she met Consuelos, sparking one of Hollywood's most enduring marriages. Over the years, she has produced television projects, authored a memoir, and become a vocal advocate for working parents, particularly women navigating high-profile careers. But when asked about the future, she speaks less about ambition and more about life. "I don't intend to work for the rest of my life," she repeated. There's no scandal in that sentence. No dramatic exit plan. Just clarity. After 25 years of near-daily visibility, it's understandable. The inevitable question: so when will she leave? She doesn't know. "I think we'll all make that decision when the time comes." That ambiguity is both reassuring and unsettling for fans. It suggests there is no countdown clock, but also no permanence. Television history shows that even the most iconic hosts eventually step aside. Regis Philbin did. Kathy Lee Gifford did. When that day comes for Ripa, it will likely be handled the same way she has handled most things in her career: candidly, humorously, and with gratitude. The legacy she leaves whenever she leaves. If Ripa were to step down tomorrow, her impact would already be cemented. She redefined the tone of morning talk for a new generation. She normalized discussing family life without turning it into spectacle. She modeled long-term partnership both on screen and off. And perhaps most importantly, she proved that daytime television, often dismissed as light entertainment, can cultivate enduring cultural influence. But for now, she remains in the chair. Still laughing. Still debating. Still gently nudging the headlines towards something digestible. And maybe that's the point. Kelly Ripa doesn't need a dramatic farewell tour. She doesn't need a countdown banner. She understands something fundamental about Live, something she articulated perfectly. It's bigger than one host. It's built to evolve. It survives through change. And when the time comes, she seems determined to ensure the transition feels natural, not like an ending, but like another beginning. Until then, mornings continue as they have for 25 years.